Andrews here, I'm back talking about Evergrey once again and their latest album, A Heartless Portrait, The Orphean Testament. I'm going to jump right into this album with a must listen to. It kicks off with Save Us, and this is absolutely must listen. This is a song of accentuating each other. The magic is perfected in the chorus with elements of Tom England's passion syncing beautifully with the keyboard auras, while the steady double bass and bass guitar create this nice rhythmic backdrop. I love these four elements paired together. They really, together, they're just absolutely magnificent, and they all elevate each other and really bring a lot of vibrancy and awesome energy right off the bat in this song. And Tom England absolutely nails this melody, so that's why it is a must listen to right off the bat. Awesome opener, great way to seduce the listener. And then you get Midwinter Calls. This is a great one too. I love the contrast in this song, with lots of emphasis on the vibrant melody that fills the chorus, whereas the rest of the song has this bombastic heaviness from the beefy rhythm and bass and some dense potency to the keyboards, yet they have this nice glow. So the keyboards, they got this nice bottom end, a lot of fullness, but they also have this nice glow as well, so that's a nice contrast, and I feel like that adds like a secondary hook to everything else that's going on in the song, not just like Tom England's melodies or the guitar melodies, but the keyboard harnesses its own melodies and its own attention as well. So you got these two awesome tracks right off the bat. Then we're going to go into these two songs that sort of paired together, Ominous and Call Out the Dark. I felt like they're sort of pivotal because I felt like they moved the album in a different direction into the following songs after that, and I'll get to that in a second. But these two songs, Ominous and Call Out the Dark, have this exceptional atmosphere, once again created by the combination of Tom England and the keyboards, but the bass really is a massive driving force in this. Johan Neiman does a fantastic job on this entire album. He really is a great driving force, just such a mood changer on these two songs, I felt specifically, and adds a lot to the rhythm and the drums, which a bass does really do that. It adds a lot to that. You know, the bottom end keeps things cohesive to a degree, but I felt like it did help the drums and rhythm, the lower ends to it, gave it such dynamics to it. So the bass really did a lot there, and like I said, it's a mood changer. It really does a lot. You know, like Rickard Xander's keyboards on Midwinter Calls, you know, his expansion of keyboards there really added a lot. I feel like Johan Neiman's bass really adds a lot, his sort of expansion, and helps elevate things as well. So him and Johan and Rickard really did a lot on this album to really sort of expand Evergrey. I thought that was really cool. I felt like the keyboards, bass, rhythms on Ominous and Call Out the Dark really created this dark aura that I was talking about, how it segues into these next few tracks. They have this dark aura that builds towards these three next tracks that I'm going to be talking about. And the first one, I guess, essentially is the title track, half of that, The Orphean Testament. This is full of just wicked intensity, great pacing, some belted out melodies, both from the guitars and Tom England. You got some roaring riffage, snapping drum work, and some very potent tones which come to life more so in the interlude. I felt like the interlude gave this nice visual, this solid visual of this black hole just sort of opening up and swallowing up the stars with its pure darkness. I love this shift in the Orphean Testament. I felt like that shift within the song helped shift the album in a bit more of another direction. Whereas the next song, the Reawakening, this one, it has some majestic sort of intensity, and it has like this vibrant essence, but it leaps out from other songs, but it also has a bit of a darker mood to it, I felt, with the music. And I really felt the music and the tempos really went hand in hand with the lyrics, which was awesome. Both had vigor and strength, yet this is where the darkness comes in, where I'd mentioned, and that dark mood is, there's some turmoil. I felt there was this vigor and strength, but I felt like there was some turmoil within the lyrics. So that's sort of where I got that from. The drum work did, I think, a lot to fluctuate those sort of tones as well, with the sort of this serene tone. The drums sort of relaxed and gave off a serene tone, and then rapidly fired up, and that's where the vibrancy came from. So Reawakening has this nice contrast of a few different atmospheres and moods. So that's an awesome one that sort of bridges the gap between the Orphean Testament and then into the great Unwashed. Now, the Great Unwashed took me back to the Atlantic and, the opening track off that, A Silent Arc, with this subtle lethargic pace and bleak mood, which definitely attribute that to this haunting aura that sort of poetically strolls throughout this track. The bass work definitely dictates the energy and the mood flawlessly. I also felt the solo has this dark sort of essence to it in itself as well. I felt it cry out sort of in anguish and despair, and I really like that. It's my favorite solo off this album because it really spoke to me. It really sort of had its own visual, its own, you know, yeah, maybe language would be a good word for it. Its own language, its musical language. But I felt like the solo work really did stand out and spoke a lot on this album overall. But The Great Unwashed was the one where I really felt a lot of it. So that's an awesome track that sort of not segues, but reminds me, you know, a little bit of a throwback. I like that sort of doom sort of essence that floats around thanks to Johann Niemann in this one. Then we move on to Heartless. This conveys a plethora of energies and emotions with its psychedelic intro and main melody, and it has this sort of lyrical exhaustion and sorrow which Tom England conveys very, very well. You really feel it in his vocals, the anger and the pain. Then you got the guitars and drums that are full of vigor and a little bit of aggression. There's a lot of heart and soul, and this makes for, like I said, this awesome, fantastic blending of emotions, different and varying emotions and varying atmospheres throughout Heartless. So there's a lot of sort of soak up on this one. I definitely heard a lot going on. There's definitely, you know, you're going to hear a lot of things going on the more and more you listen to that. I'd say the more and more I listened to this album, the more and more I heard, you know, I picked up on things. And then the album closes off with Blindfolded and Wildfires, but I don't want to, you know, go on forever and spoil the entire album for you guys. So I hope you guys check it out. All the links down in the description below. There's obviously the must listen, Save Us, and if feel free to check out anything else I got down in the description as well, more metal content. And I do have several Evergrey videos out, which I'll be linking to you for you guys up here if you want to check out. I did a 3-part series because Evergrey is my favorite band, and I just love diving into their music. There's just so much to dive into all the time, and that, once again, they hit it out of the park in my opinion with this one, A Heartless Portrait, the Orphean Testament. The artwork is freaking fantastic too. I love that. I can't wait to get my own. It's actually shipped, so I can't wait to take a look at the artwork and the liner notes and all the artwork inside the booklet there, and get to listen to it on my CD player and everything like that. And I hope you guys check out Evergrey and my other videos if you're interested. So until next time, folks, how about some heavy listening?